Hello everyone. Today's case is a shorter one, but it's an extremely important one. After a video posted on social media would lead to a terrifying investigation, yet despite police knowing the individuals in the video, no one has been arrested. 27-year-old Blayne Ferguson was born February 11th of 1996, the firstborn child to his mother Linda Castle. He was described as a kind and thoughtful father, son, and grandson, and a person who loved to make people smile. He also loved to skateboard at Polson Park, where he lived in Vernon, British Columbia. Vernon is a city in the Okanagan region of the southern interior of British Columbia, Canada, approximately 440 kilometers northeast of Vancouver and 50 kilometers north of Kelowna. Now, for what it looks like, Blayne was a ladies' man because on his missing persons Facebook page, there are posts from multiple different girls who claimed that they were with him at one point in time. But this also led me to finding out about Blayne's struggles. In a post he'd written on his own Facebook in 2015, he outlined some very deep and dark paths that he'd gone down. Keep in mind, when he was writing this, he was only around 19 or 20 years old. In this post, he'd write, quote, "I was a drug-addicted prostitute in Prince George. I was cutting constantly, and I was considering unaliving myself. I was a cheater and a total mess. I woke up one day in the hospital almost dead. I got out and moved back to Vernon, got clean, and have been for almost a year. I never had the temptation ever since I quit. Then I met the love of my life, and we have a beautiful 3-month-old daughter, and I couldn't be happier." End quote. As I mentioned, Blayne was a father. He had actually become a teen dad in May of 2015. For one reason or another, the daughter that he had with Michelle Pearson would be taken from their custody for a period of time. Blayne wrote about how in November of 2015, when he was around 19 years old, after 5 months of hard work, they were able to get her back full time. At the time, Blayne had even passed a drug test, which showed he only had ADHD medication that resolved anger issues in his system. Despite many loving posts over time between Blayne and Michelle, Blayne would go on to have at least one son in around 2021 with a woman named Siobhan Summer Lee. In a Facebook post, she would describe the last time that she saw him, writing, quote, "The last time I saw you, you came to my house to tell me you were moving back to Vernon to be with your siblings and your mom to get better. You gave me your bong and gave me a kiss, and we waited for your dad to pick you up. You were supposed to come see me before you left, but because it was 4 a.m. when your dad took you, I never got a goodbye hug. I miss you, babe." End quote. However, around the time of his disappearance, he was actually dating a complete other woman named Heather Brown, who said they were going through a lot at the time. But despite that, Blayne always seemed full of life, character, and energetic spirit. Now, as it seems, Blayne came and went from Vernon, and right before his disappearance, he actually returned once again to Vernon. And according to his mother, he returned in a state that she only described as a mess. He was in a very rough state when he came back home. From the picture that I gather online from all the posts from his own Facebook and from what friends and family have said, Blayne had a very troubled life. He seemed to get better and then, relapse, go back. But when he returned home for that final time, for the next 31 days that he was there, his goal was to once again get himself straight. He was said to be taking baby steps to right himself and to go down the straight and narrow. But sadly, that would never happen, because Blayne would last be seen in Vernon on September 21st of 2023. Around approximately 2 p.m. What happened leading up to that time of day, what he was doing, where he was meant to be, none of that information has ever been released, if known. What I do know is that by September 23rd, Blayne's mother Linda was raising awareness on Facebook, hoping that spreading the word would lead to answers. In a post, she would write, quote, "I never thought I would have to do this. My son, Blayne Ferguson, has not been heard or seen since Thursday afternoon. He was last seen downtown Vernon. Please keep your eyes out for my son. If you see him, please call Vernon RCMP or message me and tell me where you saw him. I am a very scared mom right now." End quote. No one knew where Blayne was. However, out of the blue, Snapchat would contact the RCMP over a video that was posted on their platform. This video is said to depict 4 men brutally beating an individual, and that individual would turn out to be identified as Blayne. According to those who have viewed this video, Blayne was beaten so severely that it is unlikely that he survived. Just imagine how brutal of a beating he must have faced. And then, somehow, one way or another, this video ended up on Snapchat, meaning someone recorded his most likely murder. Linda saying, quote, My son was brutally assaulted, and it was videotaped and posted on social media. It was actually Snapchat that contacted the RCMP. According to one of my children and the others who have seen the video, there is no way that my son would have survived." End quote. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, who are these 4 individuals that are in this video that allegedly beat Blayne so severely that he is most likely dead now? And then we also have the question of where the hell is Blayne then? Well, it turns out police apparently do know who these 4 individuals are. However, their identities have never been revealed by the police, and it seems like they're just walking our streets freely. And allegedly, that is all because there is no body, which to me is a complete injustice, because if there is a video showing an individual who is now missing being beaten to the point that he probably didn't survive, you'd think that these individuals would face some kind of jail time. And if they did release them, you think the police would at least be like, hey, maybe you should steer clear of these individuals because we have this video of them attacking someone. It's not like we're alleging that they attacked him. There is a video evidence that they attacked him. And apparently, someone put it on social media. Now, I wasn't able to find this video, and even if I did, the fact that he was beaten so severely, I don't even think YouTube would allow that on this platform either. But what I do think is that these 4 individuals need to be held accountable. The public should have a right to know who these 4 thugs are that are just going around beating people, allegedly to the point of murder. But that is the Canadian justice system, and in my opinion, it prefers to protect criminals. However, the internet is forever. And I did end up finding a post from individuals closest to Blayne that revealed 3 of the 4 individuals that they claim are involved. They allege 3 of the 4 individuals are Justin L. Tunin, Nicholas Cancellieri, and Stephen Bowes. Now, keep in mind, these 3 individuals are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and this information is out there in the public from those who most likely have viewed this video or have spoken to people who have viewed this video. But what does all of this mean and why? Well, clearly, if Blayne wasn't going to survive from the beating that was inflicted upon him in that video, it makes me wonder what happened to his body. What did they do to his body? Where did this attack even take place? And how did Blayne end up with these individuals for something like this to happen? What did Blayne do to deserve to be outnumbered and beaten to death? Which is not an easy death. Keep that in mind. That is torturous. And then what did they do in the aftermath that police are unable to find his body? On Monday, September 25th of that year, a search warrant would be executed at a home in the 3400 block of 26th Avenue, behind People Place. The hunt for Blayne had led police to that location, which from the looks of the street view is a tiny road with an empty lot and only 2 homes on it. RCMP also released an image of a vehicle believed to be associated with the investigation. This vehicle is described as a 2003 blue 4-door Toyota Echo with BC license plate SJ828K. Investigators were specifically looking to speak with anyone who saw this vehicle or had information about its whereabouts or activity between the afternoon of Thursday, September 21st to noon on Friday, September 22nd in 2023. In 2024, a family would arrange a march in honor of Blayne, wanting it to be a safe place, free of drugs and hate.
We got your back, buddy.
If you ain't living, you ain't living.
If you ain't loving, you ain't living.
Emotions were running high as friends and family of missing man Blayne Ferguson gathered in Vernon Thursday evening.
Today was the 6-month anniversary
Since our son Blayne disappeared, he was taken from us by some very brutal men.
RCMP have not officially confirmed Ferguson is deceased, but the family says they believe that he is.
We want justice for our son, our brother. He was a father. He was a grandson. He was a nephew. He wasn't just a nameless person that you can forget about and nobody will think about twice. The people and persons responsible for our Blayne's disappearance behind bars for a lengthy time, in my eyes, they don't deserve to see the light of day. Right?
Right.
We don't ever get him back. They don't get their lives back. They're walking the streets free, and we don't even have a body yet. They won't tell anybody where they put him.
Blayne Ferguson, our brother's name. Even death can't dim your flame. Our voices rise for Blayne beneath darkened skies. This time, no compromise, screaming out our battle cries. No more shame, no more lies. In his spirit, our heart will remain. For his children's future, we carve a new terrain. For Blayne, our wrath does churn. In his memory, our hearts do yearn. No longer will we suddenly adjourn to watch them burn. Done with the sadness, fury feels our stride. Marching forth, rage we cannot hide. For Blayne, our cries resonate. In his memory, we'll shatter the jury through Blayne's power. All this love makes his oppressors cower. For Blayne, we scream and anger loud. In his name, we'll make them bow. We'll tear down walls. This time we'll rise. We don't ignore. With all our might, we'll break down this door. For his children, for his kin, we vow to fight until we win. We're angry, we're ready. It's time we came through. Blayne, we've been fighting for you. Brother dear, are you listening still? Our voices rise, our hearts to fill. Defiance echoes a mighty will. Blayne Ferguson, our beacon, our thrill. This time we rise, we won't ignore. With all our might, we'll break down the fucking door. Blayne, we scream, anguish in his name. We'll make them own and blame. We'll make them own their blame. Blayne's story, our soul and vow to seek the truth here and now. Done with sadness, fury fills our stride. Marching forth, rage we cannot hide. Demanding justice, we'll take our share. Blayne's injustice, we fiercely declare.
In February of that year, his sister would also die of a drug overdose, which was yet another blow to the family, meaning Lisa has now lost 2 children. Blayne's family just wants answers and justice so that they can bury him and begin to heal, so that there's answers for his children. Despite Blayne's struggles, he still had a family and friends that loved him. And he was still young. He still had the chance to get clean, to recover, and to live a very productive, healthy life. This last time could have been his rock bottom that set him up for an amazing future. A future that was taken away from him by 4 men who decided to beat him to death. Lisa has said that if anyone is eventually charged in relation to her son's disappearance, she will attend every court appearance, adding that she already has a collection of letters that could be used as victim statements. And as many of us on here, she also doesn't agree with the systems in place in our justice system, saying, quote, "Our justice system is really broken. Even if they were to charge them with first-degree murder, 20 years from now, they'll walk away scot-free. To the people responsible for my son Blayne Ferguson's disappearance, you didn't just assault a young man. You took a father away from his children. You took an uncle away from his nieces and nephews. You took a brother away from his brothers and sisters. You took a grandson away from his grandparents who are devastated and heartbroken. And of course, you took a son from parents who love him, who are proud of him, and you had no right to do this. I'm not one to say things, but I'll tell you right now, for those responsible for my son's disappearance, and all the grieving the whole entire family and his children have done, and will do for the rest of their lives, there is a special place in hell for you." End quote. Now, sadly, this case doesn't have any justice yet, despite Blayne disappearing 2 years ago, and then that video surfacing of his most likely murder. What I will say is, go show this family support, go send them love, and if you also disagree that something should be happening here, if there is a video showing these individuals beating him, most likely to death, then leave a comment down below. Let's chat about this. Let's spread the word on this case. Let's share this on social media, because maybe if this case blew up, maybe if it got bigger, it may just put pressure on the police to do more. This is 2 years too long for this family to go without answers and for Blayne to not have justice. Again, I don't care what he did in his life. No one deserves to die the way that he most likely did. And his children, out of anyone, his innocent children, deserve to know what happened to their father, and they deserve to be able to lay him to rest. Let's take one more good look at Blayne in case there is some potential chance that he's out there, or you may end up finding maybe an article of clothing that'll lead to the recovery of his body. Blayne is described as a Caucasian male, standing around 6 feet tall with a slender build. He has red hair, hazel eyes, and was last seen wearing a red hoodie, camouflage pants, and black shoes. If you have any information as to what happened to Blayne and where to find him, please contact the police. I'll have the information down below. And as I said, share out Blayne's missing persons flyer, share out this video, go share out posts relating to Blayne. I feel like if we do spread the word on this case more and we put more pressure on the police, possibly more will happen. My heart goes out to this family. I truly hope you get answers. And as always, I hope you all stay safe out there, lock your windows and doors, and I hope to see you in the next video.